snowfall. Good morning, guys. I'm here in a small town in the southern part of Norway called Risør. It's about a half an hour from Kragerø. At the moment I'm on an island called Barmen, and I found the entrance to this hike. Isn't it beautiful? These pine trees. Let's see how it is. Apparently this very route goes either through or around a sand quarry. Yeah, an old one at that. Interesting, huh? Risør is probably just as known as Kragerø when it comes to summer vacations and stuff like that here in Norway. It's one of those tiny cities or towns along the southern coast with narrow streets and tiny white wooden houses that has been there for hundreds of years. The landscapes around here is almost like the woodlands just besides where I live, crossed between Tåtøy, the island of which the summer house is on. It's very strange to me. It's kind of a mix. Maybe it's because the island is so big, large. It's a larger island. There's snow in here. I don't know if you can see it, but there is some tiny snow crystals here and there. It's cold. It has been about 2 to 3 or lower centigrades this entire week, and yeah, it's getting closer and closer to to the real winter. This route is so well used, so much in use, that there is no need for any markings on the trees or the rocks around. It's quite easy to understand where to go. As you can see here, there's a cross, but down there, I don't know if you can see it now, but just up there you can see that there was a cabin. And here it continues. And if you take a tiny look at the map before you head out, note to self, you will see that approximately where it will be going. I'm lucky to live here in the south. If you go further north, you will have the complete darkness approximately half the time of the year. And with darkness comes depression. Yeah, that's not just something I say, that's a fact. The darker the days get, the shorter daylight you have, the more easily it is to get depressed and delve into that monstrosity. I know people that have these UV lamps to help them during the winters, because, well, it helps. It releases some chemicals in the body and in the mind that gives you happiness somehow. And together with some therapy or talk groups or whatever fits you the best, you can manage the winter quite well. But it's important to know that there is options out there. You don't have to go around and suffer within. when I mentioned that the winter is kind of the depression season, or with the lack of better terms, it's important to, before that starts, to try to find something you enjoy to do, something that you can enjoy either alone or with someone, whether it be online or in real life, something that can bring you joy. And that in itself can trigger some depression. I mean, it's a struggle to find your way around in this world without suffering too much or struggling. But some things help you. You just have to find them. And I'm not saying that you need to go look for them and stuff like that, but you how to say it, you will find them eventually. And don't lose hope when you don't find them right away. It takes time, and you probably need help to find your thing, and support is very important. Without support from those around you, it's very hard to evolve. I'm lucky, I have support, so I'm allowed to do this, because this triggers my endorphins, helps me relax in mind and soul. For those of you who believe in souls, not everyone does. Yeah, find your thing, whether it be drawing, staring out the window, looking at the weather, petting, having a pet, feeding the birds, eating trees, I don't know, whatever. Find your thing. I think I've entered the sand quarry. Look at this. Pure sand. And it's sandy ground all over here. Now we're getting really close to the sea. This is the sea. This tiny stream going down to the sea. Cute. So apparently when I'm going back, I have to go back there and over by the white cottage there. And this is a one-way route at the moment. And I want to have a small meal, my cup of coffee. I brought a couple of logs to have a tiny bonfire, if that's allowed. I have to see. This seems like a nice place. Let's see if we jump down here. And I can't see anyone. Which is nice. Here in Norway, you're not allowed to have fires on Svalbard. Svalbard is slope, rocks and mountains going down into the sea. Having bonfires there are totally forbidden. But I see there are plenty of fireplaces here. Or plenty, at least 2. But that's plenty for me. Okay. There's a nice beach. There's even seats and a fire pit. I love it. It's really nice. As I mentioned, I've never been here before. It's the first time, but it's nice. And now it's actually starting to snow a bit, not only here and there. I don't like snow, but it comes every year and there's nothing I can do about it. Let's see what I have in my backpack. In my backpack I have gloves because it might get cold. I have my drone and camera bag, a cup of course, some warm water, some firewood because I didn't know if it was wet or how anything was down there. So I brought a couple of tiny logs, and I have my oatmeal. Oh, coffee, of course, and a spoon for my oatmeal, and something to sit on, of course. I need my coffee, and then I'll light up a small fire, and we'll see how everything turns out. Oh, this is going to be a strong one. Strong coffee, that's nice. I've said it before, and my good friend from the UK, Chris, also said it. This is freedom. Being able to do what you want, what you love. And in this case, what I love is hike to new places and enjoying a cup of coffee. Just breathe in the air and be myself. This is freedom. always a challenge when I was a scout to lighting a fire and have it going properly with only one match. And sometimes I still got the skills. Sometimes. It's not always about the skills, it's about luck too sometimes, with wind and everything, I guess. And of course practice. You can't just do it. Expect it to work every time. My lunch, oatmeal, raspberry jam, and quite a lot of it too actually. Like that, adding water. And of course I want another cup of coffee. Oh, smoking. I'm getting smoked. And just stirring it around. I'll let it sit for a couple of minutes. Enjoy the fire and the view. Now, this is more luxury than I usually have. I have my campfire there. I have the beautiful view of the sea. Nice place to sit. It's beautiful. And I also have a meal and my coffee. Life is beautiful at times. There suddenly was kind of a weather shift where it started to become a bit windy and suddenly more snow coming down. It's really close to winter now. There's actually snowflakes in the air. It's just not bugs on my eye. It's windy, it's grey, actually snow coming down. You see all the leaves are falling. The snow is coming. Yeah, I don't like that very much. But that's how it is. The seasons change. And so do we, I guess. Rarely do I sit and wait until the fire goes out all by its own. So even though it's snowing here and it's winter almost, I'm putting out the fire. Like that. And just spread it out like that. And it's time to head further on this journey along the coast of Barmen Island. I don't know very much about birds, but what I do know is that we have some birds who leave for the winter and some that stays. Those who stays, they're left now. Some tiny birds still living around in this cold environment. We used to feed them in the winter, leaving out food for them in the trees or on the balcony or whatever. It's quite nice having birds on your balcony or in the trees close to your kitchen window or whatever in the winter. Tiny birds. It's snowing again. You can probably see it now. The first snowfall of the winter 23-24. Now this was a dull landscape, I must honestly say. Grey and brown, wet, muddy, not very much life there, I assume, but of course there is life here. There's life everywhere. But if you look up, there is still those autumn colors. now I'm on the tractor road or gravel road or whatever you want to call it, that leads back to the main road on the island. And when I'm back on the main road, I'm heading towards the car, obviously. Some routes are like this, you hike in the woods or such, and then suddenly you're on a road, and you will hike on that road for probably half the time. But that's a part of the experience, I guess. This far, this hike has been more of a silent one for me than a talkative one. I've been not thinking much, actually. I've just been enjoying everything, being silent. And I don't know if that's alarming or if it's a good thing. I don't know, but it hasn't been a lot on my mind today. Usually I have stuff to talk about, like mental health and all that stuff I usually mention, but today not that much. If it's good or bad, only time can tell. Isn't that a beautifully shaped pine tree? Straight up, straight down. A beautiful pyramid shape. Each year, Norway sends a Christmas tree to London. I think it's London. They could send that tree. In later years, there have been rather bad Christmas trees sent over to London from Norway. Actually, I think it's from Oslo. It's as a thanks for help during the war, I think. Don't chop my head off if I'm wrong, but I think that's the thing. And I think that should be the most glorious tree you could ever find. That should be shipped over as a gift. I mean, pay the landowner a little bit to take that tree down, and you're good to go. Ship it over to London and light it up with beautiful lights and all that stuff. I've hit the asphalt, which means no more woodlands hiking for me today. The landscapes are just as beautiful from asphalt though, with the trees and the wind, everything. Anyways, if you like this hike, please hit that thumbs up button, and if you want to see more like this, please subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. And maybe there's a layer of snow next week. See you then.
No sleep, my veins run dry, I'm empty. blinded by this concrete. And I should call you, see what you've been up to. I've been wondering, how far did you go in 7 months? I bet you're happy and don't think that much about me. Here I am, not knowing how to move on without you, you. Without you, you. New phase, same old good anxiety. Where's your irony?